right, guys, welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube platform. I'm your host, JD. If you're new, please do smash a like button, share, and definitely subscribe. If you're a member of the channel, massive respect to you lot. And how to become a member, please do click the join button. YouTube will help you along the way. So as you saw, guys, early on, we had said that we're going to return when the press release comes out. All right. Yes. And I've seen several personnels already stating that it was not the exact wording as to what I have said. So I wanted to go through it so we can chop it up properly, because I can't believe that I had to start it right here, people. All right. And we are going to have our panel in the building. So big up yourself, Lansday in the building. All right. So let me drop it right here so Lansday could come in. Yes. So let me drop it right here. Let me read it out. It was posted in my community tab a long time ago, before it even released on the JFF. So I am very surprised that people would have still questioned what I was saying if I am releasing it before the actual JFF released it. That would have meant something, but I guess not. All right. So anyways, let me go through it, people. They said for immediate release, the Jamaica Football Federation has decided to recall John Wall from duties with the U20 team so he can better concentrate on assisting Coach Hallgrimson in preparing the senior men's national team for the numerous competitions ahead. This includes the Nations League, Copa America Championship, and 2026 World Cup. Wall, who coached the U20, coached the U20's 20 men's team at the recent Concacaf qualifying round in St. Lucia, is also the FIFA talent development scheme manager for Jamaica and assistant coach to Hallgrimson. Experienced coach Jerome Waite will work with the U20 team, which will go into the Concacaf Championship / final round World Cup qualifiers in June. It's always a joy working with the national program. It will be great going into the qualifiers with this group of players. Qualification won't be easy, but it is something that can be accomplished. That's from Jerome Waite. So these are not what the JFF released. The JFF just released the shorter span. I have posted a complete thing. All right. So several things were said right there. Not because they have used the word recalled. Which one of them is a more qualified coach? I'm just trying to break down something just to let persons really reconsider before they do say certain things. It would be John Wall is the more qualified coach. So, and we do have 2 assistant coaches. So why and you want to reach the World Cup? And the competition will be before majority of the other games then. So what that tells you, just read between the lines, people. People don't have to come and spill things out for you to say that's how it is. I can't come here and tell you word for word what they are going to write. They have their own words. I choose my own words. And based on what I know and based on what I've read here, it's still saying that they've fired him. And we never said he wouldn't be a part of the next team. We said, yes, he will be a part of that. And remember, it's a specific one. Release these press releases. So you don't think he's going to word it the way opposite to what I've said. All right. Anyways, Pastor, let me get into this wording right here and let me chop it up right here. All right, guys, make sure to smash the like button, share, and subscribe. King Expert in the building. And then we have Lansday. Massive respect, both you guys that's jumping in the mix. Yeah, man. So, Pastor, give your take and let me go straight through it. All right.
I am not a legal expert, nor have I passed the bar. Good morning to everybody in the chat and who are on the stream. But I pride myself on lessons learned from especially 3 brilliant, experienced, qualified English teachers that helped to frame my development and appreciation for words and language usage in general. I read the document, JD, and I believe that my son, who is finishing grade 6, would appreciate the completeness of action explained in the document. There was a justification or reason given for was recalled to his position as assistant to Hal Grimson. Now, despite any rumors that we might hear, this document holds the JFF and its decision makers to what they have put in the public domain, lettered in black and white. The excuse, for those who want to label it an excuse, the reason or the justification is the quantity of work that the senior male team has in front of them requires John Wall's presence with that team. He cannot be shared between several different units because of the focus on Jamaica winning something and all that we have facing us. So he's been recalled to his duties as Grimm's assistant. The other part of it says that Mr. Waite is the person taking over the U20s. I have no problem, JD, with those two things. My only problem with the document is the statement as recorded that Mr. Waite said. So everything in the document is okay. However, to put functionality to Mr. Waite's statement would give me cause for concern. I have no problem with the document at all. I believe the document is absolutely clear and covers any question that could be asked prior to this document being presented.
Okay. All right, let me just bless up everyone that's coming in. Sebastian, thanks for being here. Massive respect. Jason Guna, big up yourself. Markland as well, big up yourself. And Float Management in the building as well. Yeah, man, as soon as you guys come in, share the live so we can get the visibility very, very fast. All right. Yeah, man, we're just going through the article because obviously we did it early on so people could know what's going on. And we were accurate as to every single thing that we had said, but it was surprised that people still want to come and question what we had said. But it was very clear. They're not going to use certain wording to tell you anything. All right. Yes. But we can just come to the discussion to say that, yes, he was fired. And that is exactly what happened. And I have no other words to put in it. Was it the right thing? Based off my calculation, that's the next thing that people took me on in the comments about, saying that my age is from Mr. Butler. I can't see nothing else. I had said nothing about Mr. Butler in my last video because my video was not built on Mr. Butler. My video was built on what the guy did since he signed. The difference with me is I retain information, so I put it out as to what I saw before. So what I saw before, he had a period of a year where in which he should have been doing games to develop, because that was one of the big things he came here for, to develop and to set something in place like a data in place. And we heard that the data was taking time to come together, and we heard that he couldn't get games to play. So both based on that little period, you failed in that department. So those are the things that I was breaking down. Big up yourself, Adima, how are you doing? And Richie Royal in the building. Massive, massive respect. Kush in the building. So those are the things that we used to be. So it was not me
But
hating
JD,
on anybody.
but
No,
JD,
Pastor, I'm just trying to make it clear because I
okay.
was responding to those people. All right? Yes. So I was just trying to make it clear. So, Pastor, the winner kill me. The winner kill me. I don't know where you are. If you're in the beach houses. Yes. So we are always on this channel. We don't sell sentiments. We don't go off daily topics. Everything that we do, it has to go back to what was said from before. And what was said from before, several things he said, and I don't think he lived up to it. So that was my conversation that I was having. So it has nothing to do with the age of anybody else. It was just we talking about the man and seeing if he's the right man for the job. Now, what we want to have a discussion is is to say that, all right, then, since we have said that maybe it's okay for them to let him go based on what's going on. Jerome Waite coming in, you had said, a pastor, that it's the right thing. He's good enough to get the job done. What you make of Jerome Waite? And people in the chat, let me know, educate us on Jerome Waite. What you made of him? The last time Jerome Waite was the assistant of Mr. Whitmore. And after that, he made a statement that people picking the team. And Mr. Spade came on our program and said he asked him to explain where he gets this message of people picking the team, and he couldn't. So they had to just fire him, or reposition him, because the articles came out said that they repositioned him. But Mr. Spade had said that they had to fire him. So with him coming back, you think that it's the right thing to do based on the fact? Based on the fact that they moved him for what he spoke on the last time, you think that he's the right person to come in? Because we have to talk about things as it presents itself. Go ahead.
Yeah, JD, before I go on the weight thing, you see what I don't appreciate with people when they, because even if this is not all of the reason for John Wall to be removed from the U20 program, this is the reason they have given us. So despite what we might want to form in our own minds, this thing is an actionable document. So in reasonable conversation, or conversation between responsible people, you have to think about what you are doing when you make certain statements, because you cannot say John Wall was removed because he failed based on this document. This is an executive document. You can't say he failed, so we can have a conversation on what we think about his tenure. But the document absolved him of everything other than what was charged in the document. And you ask any lawyer, JD, they are going to advise you to be careful of becoming libelous when there was a statement publicly presented. We have to be responsible for everything we say. Now, this is an international space. People listen to us and form opinions from what we say. Mm-hmm. That can be either a good or a bad thing. So we are responsible for what we say. Because God forbid it becomes bad and you get drawn in a suit for slander.
Are you referring to me, or you're referring
No, I'm referring to the comment that you responded to. Okay. You see, I'm referring to the comment that you responded to. Everybody is entitled to an opinion on the subject. However, what each person put in the public domain, they need to realize how charged the situation is as it relates to what we say on the subject. Because, as I said before, God forbid there's some kind of a suit for anything, and it gets to defamation or slander or character assassination. You get pulled in, and they have a record of you in the public domain. So we need to be damn careful. This is a public document. This is a document. No.
This one was released by me, not necessarily JFF, So
No,
the
but there's
JFF
one. There's one that was published by JFF.
Pastor, let me talk,
Yeah.
man. The one we published, it is very much shorter. Just the first 3 lines. So this is my documents. I'm reading it off, which was sent to me by actually the same persons. Yes. All right. So I just read off this and I made sure to put it out exactly as how they sent it to me. All right. Yes. So Markland said, absolutely, JD. Wall is more qualified. All right. Kalinko said, no local pre-coach. And Omar says, big up Imaxit. People evolve, JD. I would not hold that against him for life. Okay. No, I'm just asking, because remember, if they are saying that, because remember, obviously we know more than what was printed here, right? It seems like it's a similar situation, so we have to ask it. Remember, we're not here to protect anyone, Pastor. We're not here to protect anyone. It's just a conversation we're having in a certain fashion. So I'm just asking you if, based on talent, let me give you some rundown. Based on talent, Jerome Waite had one of the teams in before, and he did well. He did well based on his track record. All right? Based on his track record, he did well before. So it's not like he's new to this situation. And to be honest, based on kids level, and not based on football in Jamaica and around Jamaican space, he's one of the most successful coaches. So what you have to say on that, Pastor, and people listening, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Smash the like button to get the likes up, because this is the new system, This is the old system, so I don't want to hear people not hitting the like button. We're here for 70 minutes and we have 25 likes, so that is unacceptable. So get the likes up on the video. Now you can see the like button, so if you don't like it, I know that you are a fight against. Yes, go ahead, Pastor. What you said, then we can continue.
The volume of work that Jerome Waite did or has done, because he's not done. I followed Jerome Waite as coach of Charlie Smith. Now everybody knows my position on the lack of quality in qualification of our coaches in Jamaica. That's public knowledge. How Pastor think about them. I don't apologize for it. Jerome Waite also had, I think, 2 or 3 different stints at Arnett Gardens, successful stints at Arnett Gardens. So put that with his time with the national program, he has a good CV. The question then in my mind is not if he has a good CV, but at this point, whether or not he may be the very best person to take the program forward. And that leads me to the statement I saw in the document that he said, because they said Mr. Waite said. And I typed under that document, I respect Mr. Waite. But if I should deduce from the statement that they published that he said, that it is his intention to carry that group of players from the first round into the competition, I would have lost respect for Mr. Waite, because he would have presented himself as either ignorant or foolish. And that's what I wrote under it. Because everybody that watched that competition thus far sees the inadequacy of our team. Inadequacy in the cohorts selected, inadequacy in the display per player per position, and inadequacy in the coach management of the players during matches. So anyhow, I value the statement that they put out that he made. In the defined context of that statement, Mr. Waite already is failing.
And Pastor, We ask a question to the person itself. You're gone into what the statement they are posted.
No, no, no. This is a statement they published that he made. I'm speaking in respect of the statement they published that he made.
Oh, yes, Pastor. And I wanted to get to that. Just hold on a big boss. Hold on.
Okay.
People, we have Jerome Waite here. The only thing I'm not sure of, I'm not sure if he has a UEFA Pro license. Because I'm not sure. So I would love for someone can confirm that he has a UEFA Pro license. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But that would have been amazing if he does have one of them. But I know that his record is good. As you saw here, he's currently at Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens. Kind of turned around Tivoli Garden the other day, to be honest. And he's 50, still young. Yes, and he's doing a good thing now. 11 wins out of 17 games. 3 draws and 3 losses. So he's definitely doing his thing. And as you could see here, U20s, he did well in the U20s, 5 matches in 2018, December 31, 2018. Yes, so he had it there. And then he was caretaker manager in 2018 as well. And also the assistant coach in 2021 with Paul right there. Assistants for U23 in 2016, Arnett Gardens, 2019, Arnett Gardens, 2009, Arnett Gardens, 2002. And also you have to add the Manning Cup to that as well, because he has a good track record in the Manning Cup as well. So that's why we had said he's one of the most successful coaches in and around the actual Jamaica selection pool. So what we would have asked you, do we have an individual that has that is outside that we could have called on now and truly paid? Let me clear up that before we go on, Mr. Waite. All right. So, Pastor, do we have an individual that you think that we could have managed to pay? Because obviously, Wall is still up at the next level, which we know that. So, we have to still pay him. So we have 2 assistants coach up there now. And then we don't have a next coach. Akari, let me just take out Jerome Waite now and ask you a question. Do we have enough money to pay a person that you think is qualified to come and do this?
JD, that question, if you ask me, I would say yes. But the JFF is an administration with which I have had zero confidence in as it relates to financial matters. Zero. They have failed at every turn when it relates to finances and the football program. Every turn, in my mind. And this is with a fellow, regarded in financial terms, a fellow named Rudolph Speed. That's his qualification. A man who is in management and financial management and business management for years in Chong. And if these 2 men has presided over so many improprieties, financial improprieties, I cannot state that the JFF has or do not have the money. So, best case scenario is if we get a coach locally, since we're already mid-tier, I am not going to fight it. Would it be my preference? The answer would be categorically no. But I cannot speak to anything regarding JFF Finance. They have not impressed me or garnered any respect from me in the financial quarters.
Okay, thank you very much on that. All right. Rudolph Speed is here. Rudolph say, Pastor. All right. So hold on.
Good morning, Mr. Speed.
Pastor, please don't take it over. Mr. Speed, if you have any time and you can pass through, I would love for you to come on and we can have a conversation as well. Yes, but if you're busy, no problem. We will try and get you on next week. Football Global said, there is never succession planning. Waite being chosen so quickly shows they wanted him from the beg. Okay, that's what he's saying. People, as you come in, please do it the like button, share and subscribe. Do we in massive respect, thanks for being here. Yeah, man. Mind I sue you. I am responsible for technical. Okay, so Rudolph Spade is saying something to Pastor. Oh Lord, it's not nothing to do with it. Let me stick on it. So Jason, come in, Jason, give your take. What you have to add to the conversation so far, because we're just skimming the top on what's going on, and what is how good it is, and go through all the people. And so at least people could get educated on what's going on with the individuals, them, not just saying Mr. Waite is a nobody and we are not going to win anything, So
yeah,
go ahead, Big Boss.
Yeah, so I think one thing I want to touch on at first, the wording in the release I thought was clever by the JFF. The reason why I say that is they made sure to differentiate that this decision to relieve him of his duties with the U20 or recall him, as people want to say, to the other roles he has. I thought it was important that they distinguished between those things, because you wouldn't want to have a situation where the public is receiving it as, he's being taken away from this team for poor performance, but yet still we're going to keep him along with the national team. I don't think that narrative would have made much sense to anybody. Okay. So I thought it was important for them to make that distinction in their release. Secondly, I think the appointment of Waite, while on the surface it might look away to some, because I know that the local coaches get a bad rap as far as taking these youth teams anywhere. I think it's important that you pulled up on the screen what his qualifications are listed as, and maybe he might be a little bit different from the other candidates that we could have chosen. So I am happy that you have highlighted that. And I also am doing some research to validate the information that I'm seeing online about him. So, those two things I think are very important in the conversation. So I'm glad. I wanted to go ahead and make that point about the release, and just also commend you for bringing up his qualifications to try to look at it as a separate thing and not just paint it as a broad brush of JFF going back for local coach again, So I think it's important to make those distinctions.
Well, that is what we are here for. We're here to have conversations. We are not here to just sell a narrative, So we have to look at what happens before we judge it. And that's what I was so upset about the last video, because I'm saying, a man say he listened to every single thing. And clearly I eat Butler, so I'm just agreeing with the JFF. And I said, but I've stated things that nobody stated. I've gone from the guy's start his tenure to now, and I've calculated what's up. Because remember, we were just selling it that he had gotten fired and he's going to be the assistant coach, which is exactly what happened. He moves from one direction, and because he's more qualified, or what we expected, or what we thought he was more qualified than Waite. So clearly, it has to be exactly that context. All right, it has to be that exact context. So me saying it that way, and because they have already heard from before, because I realized that other videos were done on it. It was not me doing the first one, Jason. That's what I never knew, so people already had their preconceived notion built up in them to say that that was the situation. He was fired because of Mr. Butler's interaction. So when people hear saying it, I never knew until it was brought to my attention.
It was coming from somewhere, yes.
I was not educated on it, and that was a problem. So when people saying it, I'm saying, oh, okay. But I had put everything in context, what the guy did to judge him and give my marks on him. Right there, just like I'm looking at the coach right here to say, okay, maybe we are looking at it wrong, because maybe this guy has some experience dealing with these guys, and if he finds a couple local guys and some overseas guys in short time, because he did it last time in short time as well, so maybe he could do something with the time that he's given. You get me?
And
so that's what I was looking at.
And I think, JD, one of the things as well that maybe is being missed in all of this, when the timetable for events for the Reggae Boyz was set in stone, when we figured out when the qualifiers were going to be, when the Copa America would start, and when the U20 championships was going to happen, we should have seen that there would have to have been a decision made in one direction or the other, because I don't think he would have been able to be in two places at once. So, that should be another thing that we factor into this decision. They had to choose between one or the other.
But was it truly a choice? or he's the one that made that up? Because the last time we asked that same question, you know, why is it we have the U20 preparation, but Janual go in other places?
Yes,
You know,
we have brought that up in conversations previously before. Yes.
So I want to think that he made that decision on his own. Yeah, I want to think so, and I think that maybe he should have been focusing on the U20s, and maybe because he's twinned with Al Grimson, he tend to make that decision. So maybe that's the reason why people it was worded that way. Jason,
Right,
maybe that's the
right.
reason why it was worded that way, because he's still here, because Al Grimson is still here, and he can offer Al Grimson some assistance that way. So I think that's why it's worded that way. But good point, Jason. Good point, people. And that's why it's worded that way, man. So what I would have to say now, we can't verify the UEFA Pro license for Mr. Jerome Waite, but we know that he's a solid coach and can try his best. You know, we always, you know what I can't understand now, Jason? The big question I'm going to ask you, Jason, why is it we always, because remember, you know, whisper Kaim Dixon, oh, them being the team. Why is it now them go for Jerome Waite? And then everybody start complaining about Jerome Waite now. Is it that you have to have a connection to a specific set of people for the fan base maybe respect you?
JD, maybe a part of it is we haven't seen, besides a few of our local coaches, anybody really spread their wings and go anywhere else to coach. So maybe does that have something to do with it? They think that Dixon and Whisper could potentially go somewhere and fly the flag for Jamaica, but the coaches maybe don't get involved in coaching for that same reason. Could that play a part? I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but besides Miguel Coley, who is one of the coaches that the JFF has used recently locally, that has gone anywhere else to do anything?
The only other guys them go places is Mr. Spade them, Fuzzy them in the Concacaf, but no one else went anywhere else. So it's only Concacaf. Yeah.
And that was based upon coaching a Jamaican team into a competition. I'm saying
yes,
leaving Jamaica and going and coaching somewhere else.
The only thing I can, it's still going to come down to a Jamaican team going elsewhere, because Kingston Academy went overseas, but it's a Jamaican team leaving somewhere else. I don't think. I've asked Mr. Spade this before, you know, and said to him, why we never just try to get, instead of we are doing this thing, which is the Trinidad license and stuff, like not Trinidad license, we go and get the license done. Why we never invest in 3 of our top coaches? I've asked Mr. Spade this, you know, and I heard someone brought back the 1 year later, and someone brought it back to him and asked him, why we never invest in 3 coaches, go over to Europe and get the European European Pro license done. But they have to live there. It's going to cost a little bit more money. Why we never invested in that? And Mr. Spade's answer was directly because you can't judge what people will do at the end. So maybe we don't have a contract draft up, so people are binded to that contract. So if we educate them to a certain level, they are going to come back and do what is contractually due. You understand me? So maybe that's the problem, Jason. So like Tyrone Marshall and those guys are the only guys outside. The keeper, what the keeper name? He's the next one that's doing good. The goalkeeper,
Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson. He's the next one that's doing good. But everyone that's
Ryan
here
Johnson.
at this point,
name. Sorry,
no man, Ryan. I think Ryan in name though.
Thompson. Ryan Thompson.
Ryan Thompson. Yeah. So,
but JD, Jason, permit a moment. You see, if that is the deterring factor, again, me I go beat Mr. Speed, because that kind of constitutionality to a document, a contractual document, is something that is practiced in Jamaica. Hold on,
Mr. Blake, Mr. Speed never said nothing other part than me say I'm.
No. Listen, no, JD, don't let Mr. Speed name being used by me throw you. Don't let Mr. Speed name be used by me throw you. Mr. Speed is the chairperson of the technical committee. So I'm saying you presented that that's a possibility that because that can happen. I am saying I would take it to the level that I would charge Mr. Speed again. I would have to go take out a broad belt for Mr. Speed because this is something that has been contractually drafted in several entities in Jamaica where you educate on a retention document where you have years of service paying for the money invested in you. So this is not something that it would be foreign to him. I only use Mr. Speed name because Mr. Speed is the person that we have at the JFF that we can beat. So we flag Mr. Speed. So don't let his name used by me throw you.
No,
I'm saying for anybody that would draw that attention, JD, the reality is they could invest the money and have those coaches bonded to the Jamaica football system, let's say 3 to 5 years, to repay what money was invested in them. It is something that is practiced all across Jamaica in nursing, in some business schools, in certainly in the education system a lot, in the mining industry. There are a lot of places that practice it.
Okay, well, all I'm saying is that was just a suggestion from me at the time, but clearly they went the other way. So we have to decide if the other way works or not. All right? Yes. So yeah.
Yeah, Ishmael, I know about Alex Thomas in Guyana, but I really was referring to like former national coaches that have gone abroad. But yes, I know about Alex Thomas.
All right. So based on the coach coming, because I just wanted to get over these points. I know Pastor at every single time for no reasons. All right. Yes, and I have no problem. So, anyways, I'm going to say the coach. I will give him a little time. You understand me? I will give him a little time, see what he has to do. And watch what he's doing at the same time, because if we're coming up closer to the time and we haven't seen anything put out in the headline like a squad of Rasta players that we are looking into, and we have contacted them or something, and we have sent over information for them because maybe they can't get released at the time to get enough training sessions, and at the same time we have some people over here training. If we don't see those things, then we are going to kind of not feel happy about it. You understand me? What say you, Jason? What are you expecting, pretty much? What are you expecting to see based on this little change around?
Well, one thing that I would like to know from the JFF side of things is, will it be a continuation of what John Wall wanted as far as personnel? I mean, I know obviously we can't expect Waite to have the same tactics as John Wall, but will he consult John Wall in any way as far as the database he had comprised and compiled? Will he be looking to kind of utilize that, or will it just be, okay, I'm in charge now, I'm going to pick my 20 players or 22 players, however many we get to take, type of situation? I would love to hear the JFF or Waite himself speak to those things, because I think without those answers, it's very hard to speculate how it's gonna go. Is he just gonna be a figurehead that's just there to coach, or is he giving full autonomy to pick the players as well? Because that is going to be something that I'll be interested to see. How many of the players keep their places? We have heard names floated around that didn't have a chance to come in because of the timing of the window. Are those players still up for contention to be picked, or what? That's what I would love to find out, because John Wall had a lot of things on his plate, but let's not forget that Jerome Waite also currently coaches aside. So, is it a situation where they're getting somebody who they think has more time on his hands, but maybe has a similar situation going on because he has to coach his other team as well? So those are the answers those are the questions that I would have for the JFF and Waite. How do you plan to manage your time if a part of the reason why we lost the last coach was because he didn't have enough time?
JD, before you finish that laugh, I don't want to charge you that was sarcasm, but to Jason's point, is it that the JFF is repositioning people because they do not have the requisite finance to get somebody to pay singular attention to the job of being the U20 coach? Because that would now open up a can of worms. Is Waite leaving Tivoli to do the U20, or is Waite twinning or acquiring a new job because the JFF cannot fully pay for this position? You see, this is why I don't want to speak on JFF financial management at all, because all of these questions need answers. And it has needed answers for eternity where the JFF is concerned. They have always exposed themselves to these kind of innuendos.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, all I know, I have some little things set out. Jason asked a good question, because Jason pretty much saying that if we claim, so how important is Mr. Jerome Waite's actual job that he's doing now? You know? Because if you reposition the man because his next job is so important, he couldn't focus fully on this job, which you're at the same time, you are telling me that he's not focused enough to give enough from to the U20s, you know. That's what you're telling me, you know. That's what you're telling me you think as well. Because you're saying you made the decision, not him, saying that he just feels like to focus on that one. You understand? You are telling me that he can't focus on both of them, you know? So why it makes sense. Why would you take our next person? So I think next time they're going to tell you that for that period, or for a specific period, he's going to commit as much time to the U20s. That's the only thing I can say. That's the only thing people will accept as well. Not just say, but people will accept. That's the only thing. Because you can't write something and then you go back to do the same thing. That means it's the same thing that I've beaten Paula, John Wall for earlier. I'm going to beat the JFF for, because what's the difference there? You see what I'm saying, Jason? What's the difference there then? It's Absolutely. Just one not contractually assigned to the JFF in the department of the national team, but yet still he has a club.
Right. So in other words, you know, when does it take precedence that he's the U20 coach? Is it after the Premier League season is over? Is it now he'll be stepping back from the Tivoli team in such a big role to try to focus on this? I think those are the follow-up questions that I think the JFF needs to be asked, so that we can get some clarity. Because as you say, if the reason which was given to us was too much on his plate, I don't see the benefit of replacing him with another person with his plate full, you know? So I just need to hear from them how they plan to navigate through that.
All right. Pim says, guys, make sure to smash the like button as you're coming. We have 100 people here, but look like we have 55 haters and 50 subscribers. So, yeah, it is what it is. Waite is one of our best coaches in Jamaica. Since he haven't been around our senior team as an assistant to Tupper, we clearly see the drop in performances. Let me know if you're calling in, because I have the program there, so I think you'd have to join the program because
so the commenter is attributing Tapper's better results to when Waite was around.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And I would not disagree with that, because we were saying the same thing at the same time as well. And Tapper had said the same thing as well. So it's not like he never said it, Jason. I'm telling you. Was the recent Concacaf Women's Tournament in a FIFA window? As if not, the argument about Girlz availability is irrelevant, since most of them are in Europe. All right, the last window. Well, let me get the Girlz FIFA window.
It was kind of weird, JD, because the Gold Cup extended. The Gold Cup extended FIFA past the actual window.
Woman window. It's a window, same way. You're in the window.
Yes, so, but my point is, when it got to the knockout stage and the finals, you know, the leagues were playing again in Europe. So there was a portion of it that was in the window, but because it was a tournament, it extended too long. outside of it.
It's just it's extending one in extended no time at all. I'm putting it up on the screen. It no extend not at all. Them extend it. So whatever list you look at, it was not the accurate one because this is the Concacaf one. They have re-extended then. Since you saw it before. See it it's March 10th, right? March 10th.
My point is it was followed by the CONCACAF region. So like in the Mexican female league, they didn't play any games. But in Europe, they did not stop their league for this.
No, they never stopped their league. No, but if you have your players them that wants to come, they have the chance to go there.
Yes,
Because
the clubs there cannot tell the nation they're not sending them. Yes, that is a true statement.
But FIFA can't tell them to stop them league either.
I know.
You understand me?
I know.
Yes, so that is the situation here because see in March 10th it finished. When the finals played. The finals played when?
Finals was played March
10th.
Yeah,
let me get it. Yeah,
it was Sunday. Whatever Sunday
USA,
was.
USA.
Yeah,
man. It has USA female team. Brazil woman. Let me Brazil woman. Okay, Brazil woman team. All right. Why do you
my point is, JD, you see where it says window and it says CONCACAF Gold Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Above it, it says 19th to 28th available for all confederations. So my only point was the window that is internationally recognized as a female window is the 19th to the 28th. They are just acknowledging on here that the Gold Cup will take place from that day to that day.
Yes. But I agreed from before. I said they made it for this purpose. That's what I said from before.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just arguing the point to say to Leroy that no, this competition was designed. It's not every team. So for instance, if you're from England, you can't get any exemption to take a player if you decide you're going to play a friendly. Because it's not for everything. It's also for the CONCACAF. That's what I was saying from day one.
You are right. You would be sanctioned by FIFA if a federation asks for the player for the Gold Cup and you tell them no. That would not be allowed. Yes.
No, that's what I was saying from day one. To say that it was a window for this specific reason. So it was a good competition, man. It was a good competition. So that's it, Mr. Leroy Smart. That's it, to be honest. All right. So we have a few more comments that we take them. JD, like Travis 343, and I said 433. We'll have to play the play-to-play is style of football because these are Walls players who will choose the players for Mr. Waite. Who will I think it's gonna be a new thing open up. It's gonna be a new thing open up. Remember, Wall would have been choosing players out of the same pool. He wanted to choose players from out of the same pool. If it was up to him, as what he said, he wouldn't choose none of these players. You understand me? He would have gone for his complete 18 new players. You understand me, Jason? So I don't think it's how much of a problem that would have been, Jason. And Pastor, how much of a problem it would have truly be where it comes in now? Because I say none, I say none.
I think the only way it becomes a problem is if they don't give him autonomy to run the team. Because I think that's the main problem that I hear most coaches when they leave a post with the JFF, whatever they're allowed to say, because I know they can't say much. But most of the time when they speak, they do say or reference that perhaps they weren't given the full control and they were just there to coach games. So
including the same man.
Including this man as well. So my question to him, if I ever get to speak to him, would be, what has happened or what have you seen develop over the last few years for you to accept another role in a place where you said that you were kind of handcuffed when you had it before because they didn't allow you to do what you want to do. So those are the questions I think need to be answered. But as far as like from a coaching perspective, being able to take the team now and do well, I don't think it's a huge issue if he's given the chance to do what he wants to do.
All right. and that's where I have to call him out as well. If you had the problem before of people picking the team as to what you had alluded to, what make you take a next deal up? based off that? That is the question that I would ask. Jerome says we need to remember what the JFF did to him. Okay, that's exactly what we just asked. Jamaica is known for performances. We are a moment-based team, really put together for rarely put together a full performance. All right. African says it was a window, but clubs could hold players. Example, Colombia had most of their players, but Chelsea kept the striker. I think she wanted to stay as well, and they worked out something because she said, I read an article and she said she's working on things because she just signed the contract. So that's a little bit different when the player said that she wanted to stay, and the country agree with it as well. You understand me? Because she was not in the right form as what she want, because she's trying to fit into a team and help out the team. So I think they came to a conclusion, because you can't hold the player back, Africans. You can't hold them back none at all.
They really miss the player too.
Big sue. Yeah, but they rather get the player back well and good health the next time she's coming. Now that's what I realize the clubs, like clubs and countries always do. They try to make sure they have a relationship with the players. You know, yeah. Waite is a good coach. All right. The FIFA window for women is up. Yes, it's up now. Chris Smith says Spade got rid of Topper because he couldn't control Topper. He had his players like Fisher, Powell, and Boza, Corey. And then we have Richie Robinson said something not look right with the under 20s. Okay. All right. And okay, you said something. The under 20 coach do something wrong. Okay. All right, exactly my point, JD and Jason. I thought the JFF were at odds. Him and the JFF were at odds. Trouble over there. All right, fair enough. Maybe Mr. Speed will pass back and cover up some of these stakes, but these are all fair points, and that's what I want. I want people to put some points and not saying we are bad-minding people. And you know, I don't know why it's the sensationalism always comes out first, Jason, and just fool a lot of people. You know, so it just lead them down the wrong. And for some reason, it looks like because I am the one that start my streams early. It's like I am the one that get the broad brush. Yeah?
the one them love to hate, man.
Yeah, oh my God, man. So people, Jerome Waite is here for the U20s. We complained because I've listened to all of you guys and you weren't pleased. So I think if you're giving someone else an opportunity, give them an opportunity. Let them decide. Let them show you what they have, and then from that point you can say, all right, this man is not good enough. You understand me? But if a man don't prove himself to you when he had done well before, I think that is just sensationalism, because you're just saying that he can't do it and you don't give him the opportunity as yet, you know.
Yeah, I hope Mr. Speed does have time to come on, because he did make a comment and basically say that he does not have this license. So
Yes. That's what Mr. Speed said. But I think he will come on if he has the time.
Yeah, so if he have the time, yeah.
Yes, you know it go already. In these days, Jason, you know that it's needed. You know, Mr. Speed is needed. Yes, he's needed. So Mr. Speed might just be all over the place. You know, a busy man. I heard that he was on the radio. You know. All right.
Yeah,
so
man,
Richie
sports
says,
explosion.
Yes. Richie Robinson said, JD, this thing bigger than we. All right. So you're saying that everything that they wrote is not true, which I don't think anybody believes it. Mindset, Jerome Waite is no better than Wall. All right, then. All right. So Mindset said Jerome Waite is no better than Wall. All right. Fair enough. All right. Yes. So we had some other topics, you know, but it looks like we have to stay on this for the time, and we are not passing 2 hours at all. So guys, send a question in. You think that it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing? JC, you know, you haven't given me a true answer as it as yet. You like to skim around it, you know, because just like what you claim to say, I'm always skimming around answering your questions.
For me, as I said before, there's some questions that I would need to kind of close off, but just without having those answers, right? I will say the move is the right move, because I do not think that if Wall stayed in all the roles he had, he would have he would have not been able to do the job to the best of his ability. I don't think so. I don't think it was the right. I think it was the right thing to remove him from one or the other. And personally, based on how I've heard him talk about the U20 team in public, it seemed like something that he was not that thrilled about to be doing anyway. So if that's the case, remove him, let him concentrate on what he wants to concentrate on, the development side and the coaching assistant side, and we get a manager or a coach in there that can put his all into it. Because I got the sense that it was just you know, when you say just something that he had to put up with as a part of his job, maybe not something that he definitely had you know, he didn't look that inspired to be doing the job. You see what I'm saying? So if that's the case, get someone else in who will be more inspired. It might help the players.
All right, diplomatic answer still, but I respect it because I had said the same thing. Not because I'm diplomatic, because that's the only way. So I'm gonna say you're not diplomatic today. That was the only way to look at it for real. I don't think he looked excited to do this because he did not believe in these local guys clearly. So I'm gonna ask you the question then. So why would you take the developmental role if you don't believe in them? Jason is gone. Pastor, that is the question. If you don't, because Jason put something good, which is good, to say that he didn't look happy about it. He made some statements that are definitely opposing to what he was brought in for. So I'm not just asking, why would you take a role that you're not so happy to work in? You understand me? Because if you lose this job, you still have to try and develop players. Or are you going to develop players? You understand me? It just seems a little bit confusing. I truly believe that he's just going to take on this part alone as the assistant coach, and he's not going to do anything more. That's actually what I think will happen. Jason, that's what we're just asking you. How would they develop the players them that they don't believe in? Are you just going to set infrastructures in place?
Yeah, I think he's totally fine with like coming up with plans to develop the players. I think where the disconnect happened was maybe he didn't see himself in a role of actually coaching these players at a tournament. You know, so I don't think it necessarily means that he wouldn't want to do the other development phase because, you know, he's a data analytics man. And, you know, when you're developing talent, that's what he kind of use to see where they're going to get to. You look at the data, you look at the metrics, the analytics. So that part of it is something that he enjoys because he was building a database, finding players and all these things. Where I would tend to maybe agree with what you said is he didn't seem to have the same, you know, basically when he had the speech about the professional minutes, all of the Jamaican public took that as a dig to the local player, right? I mean, that was how it was taken. No matter how truthful they thought the statement was, it still was seen as a dig at the local player. So to your point, you know, with those statements don't really align with developing those same players. So I see where you're coming from, but I still feel like as long as it's not a competition, he would still be involved in some way and be okay with it.
Okay, all right. Pastor, I want to add anything to that as well, as to what Jason put it?
What Jason is stating, because that's more than an allusion to something. Reality check for Jamaica, which is not a real place based on how we operate. There are levels in everything. If you say there are good coaches in Jamaica, you have stated a fact. If you say we have better coaches, then you're going to be, comparatively speaking, better than who at what level. And we can clearly determine we do not have the best coaches because no Jamaican born coach coaches at the top level. Not one. We have coaches that are knocking at the door at the top level. But I don't know that any of them are Jamaican born. they are Jamaican coaches because they played, so they have Jamaican nationalities because they played for us. I've said that to say this. I am not questioning the competence of Waite because, as I said, I'm not from the inner city, but I liked how Charlie Smith played when Waite was there. I don't support no local football club to say I have a local football club that I support. No. But I've watched the likes of Arnett Gardens, and I deliberately did not support Boys Town when Carl Brown was there, but I supported him when what's his name? Big fellow that was coaching the team. I watched the Boys Town then. Can't remember his name. Very imposing fellow that coached Boys Town after Carl Brown. For me, if it is that the finances don't allow anybody else and we need a local coach, we're not doing ourselves an injustice to use somebody like Waite because he has some success behind him. His CV is not bad. If you compare him with the other coaches in Jamaica, positioned to be in the top 3 or the top 5 of our best locally born coaches. You can't beat yourself up if you choose one of those. Plus, you're going to have an availability crisis if you look for too long, because this has to have come about based on his contractual arrangement with Tivoli Garden that allows him time to be with the U20s. Or he's going to give up his contract at Tivoli Gardens to be fully focused on the U20s. And we haven't had any news to that effect, so we don't know. I will say again, these situations, for all who believe that I unduly beat the JFF, I am a practical person. I learned management on the job. I am doing this shit from I'm 15 years old. And when I was 15 years old, I did not mess up like this administration is messing up. Across all damn department, JD make me sick. Because the guys who are there are qualified. There is no way you make so much blunders. It is an embarrassment. And the reason we're having these conversations is because the JFF refused to get straight with the program. And Mr. Speed may jokingly or otherwise say my name sue me, but Mr. Speed shared what his CV is with us on the program, JD. And a man with that kind of CV, Mr. Speed cannot tell me that he doesn't have influence over the finances of JFF, being the chairperson of the committee that he is. He can't tell me so. By virtue of his qualification, they are going to run some things by him. And if he sees it go wrong, he has a responsibility to the program.
Sir Pastor. All right. Sir Pastor, calm down.
JD, a lot of people, you know, take this nationalist card without understanding what it means to be a part of something. The Jamaican name no get called anywhere that I don't feel that I am a part of it. I am a Jamaican. And this don't have nothing to do with me being a born Jamaican. It has something to do with me being a Jamaican. And every time they sell that shit down the stream, that people who are in the diaspora who get a passport of Jamaica is other than a full Jamaican, I want to tell them that is shit coming out of your mouth.
All right, Pastor, mind you let the people Go get some water, Pastor. People, please do it like button as you come in, share and subscribe. We only can do 2 hours, so leave your questions and I will try and get it. All right. So Mr. Speed passed through here. He never stopped, because maybe he wanted to sue Pastor. You understand? So he never wanted to come on because it was not an invitation because Pastor was on it, But anyways, let me just continue. Leroy Smart said the evidence will be in the football played. Jamaica may not qualify for the U20, but we need to see improvement in it in the playing. No, we don't have the calling. We don't have the calling. I have not set it up as yet because I'm busy trying to get charger in my car and a whole heap of damn thing me I do. So that's why. All right. Is any local coach actually good enough for this for a senior team post? I don't know, because we had Topper, and some said Topper never did anything wrong. He won all these games that he should have won. So I don't know. Yes, the right thing. Me think a next coach wanna know nothing about in years. Okay, good Lord. All right, so a peer foolishness are going. Big up yourself, Pagan. Massive respect. All right, we have DJ Gigs in the building. All right, and then we have Colin Quest. Colin Quest said, I need a coach to only pick overseas players in the best leagues who are available to us, as almost hunt down every possible player who can't make England team. I think that is tough still, because remember, even though we're going to pick the best players, you want to make sure you don't send that message out, say you want to play, just go in all the best clubs and pick the players. You need to say that we have an evaluation process, and the best players will be presented to you after everyone been assessed. Yeah, I don't think you can just come and say just pick all an overseas man, because you might have a gem in Jamaica that might warrant some game time based on his actual ability. You might have one, because everywhere in the world you might find a few gems, but it's going to be very, very tough. All right. Yeah, that's what I would say. Waite can't leave his club job for a couple weeks with JA work. He needs the money. All right. Pagan, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. But the problem is, Demo, what you're not realizing or what you're not factoring, U20 is actually a job on its own. It's only Jamaica takes it for a part-time, because what most team does, including USA, Mexico, they actually have tournaments right around the year. I know that you're going to say, oh, but we have to get invited to the tournaments. Well, Jamaica just got 2 invitations to 2 tournaments, one in Mexico and one in the Middle East. So if we were looking for those tournaments, we would have found them. You understand me? So that is the big difference. Let me stop right there and then we get back into it. So you see what I'm talking about, people? Jason? So that is the mentality we have. We are saying Jerome Waite can't leave him job. No, but U20 should be a job and not just a part-time job. That is where we have the problem, because the approach that we had to the job itself. Because other coaches take the Nigeria coach, he has the U20 job for himself, and they are in several competitions. He doesn't have a next job. The U20s for England, he has a job for himself. You understand? Because they have several tournaments. Okay, so why our coaches have to be doing 2 jobs? That is my whole problem. If you have 50 competition to go in, you don't need to have 2 jobs. You need to just be good at one.
2 money better than 1 money.
So if you're gonna get a full-time job, why you need 2 money? You don't need the same. The international job will be the bigger money. So you're not gonna get more money, Jason?
Because sometimes in Jamaican coaching circles, a full-time job is not equal to full-time pay.
Okay, all right. Melas, how you doing, man? Hope all is well. JFF was spot on their decision. All right. So Demo is with it. All right. Demo is with it. All right. Send him for water. Yes, JD. All right. So Pastor about the building, man. Yeah, man. Pastor about the building. Olivia, Ashley, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect everyone that came in. JD, Wait as an assistant at Tivoli, who is work with for years. Okay. But all I'm saying here, I've just brought you guys some facts, and no one really catched on to it. I'm saying other countries, they are doing more programs, so you don't need to occupy two positions. Because what we are looking at U20s for is to say that they have a limited competition that they play in the Concacaf, and that's all it is. But the truth is, we ain't hunting those additional places. You understand me? To get those competitions and maybe that's what's stopping us to become that genuine quality team in the region. What say you, guys? What say you? All right. What say you, Jason and Pastor?
Yeah, I think it's definitely something holding us back. But I believe that the reason why we are maybe able to do it for the senior programs is like the prize money that comes along with doing well in those competitions might not be, unless, because the other day I was listening to a program and Chung was on there, and he was saying that it's a huge misconception to think that these youth competitions actually garner the JFF any money, and typically they lose money on all of these things. So is it that they purposely don't make the investment in it knowing that there won't be that much return?
Okay, but everyone else is doing it. And then we use a cheat code at the top of our national team to pick overseas players. Because if we hadn't, that's all we know, that the overseas players save in Jamaica, and always have been saving Jamaica, because the reason why we're not good at youth level are because we're not investing at the youth them. You understand me? And now we have a cheat code at the top to just fling 3 English-born players in the team were already developed, and then the team just becomes over the top. You understand me? So that's our problem, because every other country do it. I see Cayman just a while ago. Cayman have how much overseas players I try a recruit. Martinique the same. Suriname, half of the team are overseas players. Suriname play better football than Jamaica at U20s. Them score more goals than U20s. Them lose one match against El Salvador because they had a harder group than we. Hence why them not got through. But tell you, I'm sure people are investing in things, but them not just invest and stop them and invest right through, because they want to see one local guy come through just as though they want to see an overseas guy. So you can't drop it short and then say you don't have any money. Why Suriname have more money than Jamaica? That don't make no sense. You get me?
Yeah, I think other federations are just more willing to invest and play the long game than Jamaica is. Jamaica wants the instant gratification, the instant return. And a lot of times when you're dealing with younger or development phase of things, you have to expect that it's going to be a lot of expense with no return at first. But I don't believe that the JFF is in a position to think like that, or at least they don't want to think like that. They would rather let us know that they're paying down the debt and they're doing everything they can to earn. But I believe that's where the sponsorship comes in, because JFF wants to do everything by themselves, or not necessarily wants to do everything by themselves, but because of their lack of sponsorship, they are having to use more money than maybe another federation might use, because they have gotten sponsors to do this development phase of things. So I think that's where the JFF falls short every time. We need to get more stakeholders that are willing to invest, and not necessarily invest because they want to get this down the road. Just invest because of the love, or the love of a project.
Our Jason, not just invest for the love, sell the people in the proper project. So they believe in something. Believing in something, returns does not be the main thing back. Because when I look at Suriname, when I look at Panama, when I look at Mexico, people not talking about the investment, the returns that they're getting back. They are investing in this because this is something that will grow fruit in the end. And I have been sold something properly. And when I see the project, it looks like it's going in a direction. The problem is we don't have nothing looking like it's going in a direction, but yet still we want people to buy into something that we are not even selling them.
Right. So the packaging is not done right. We're not packaging it correctly so that people can believe in it. It's yeah, it's I
Yeah,
agree.
and want people to believe in it. Now that's why people want them returns instant, because you're selling them. Okay, yeah, we can sell this and for you, or we can bring in such and such amount of funding. No, 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 no. After you give me that, no, no, that don't work. I can't give you back nothing. This is what will happen. You can get some tax write-off because you're supporting the team right here. You can get that brand exposure right there because we're going to be in 6 more competitions than what we normally did. We have such and such players playing in this league, and the fact that they are going to be really, and for instance, you just patching some data, and Saka Sofa, you have these guys have 10,000 people following them, 200,000 people following them on social media each. So that is 1.7 million people worldwide seeing your actual brand in on the front of the jersey because you sponsor that.
Yep.
You're not telling them that you're giving them nothing back, but the fact that you're doing something good and you have a longer stay because you're progressing, it is a possibility for them to get more eyes worldwide on their branding, and every brand will be taking that. But it's just you talk to people, and I'm telling you, that's the one thing I would say. I don't think the actual JFF is they are not at that level as yet. I don't think so. I have not seen them talking on that level. It just seems like they're still at the mini level of just trying to clean up in-house first. You know, they're not expanding their minds to do bigger things, just to clean up in-house. Okay, the man that says something, let me shut down or something. You know, every time no one do this, let me shut down or something. They say, reach out to branding stage yet. So you can't have brands.
Yeah, they spend most of the time putting out fires for real. It's like,
Yeah, so you can't have brands.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what me think, because I'm watching you guys. I just don't take on these stories, But that's what I'm seeing. You can't have brand. You can't want attract brands when you're not trying to seek them. You're trying to clear up everything to clear up your image. Your image rather than for attack, selling your product to a brand. I don't think we're in that phase as yet. Guys, make sure to smash the like button, share, and subscribe. We still have around 45 minutes to go on this one. This was just a follow-up as to what we wanted earlier. You guys wanted earlier, because I never had a chance to bring on Pastor and Jason. But no, Pastor is so emotional, I have to reconsider what I'm doing. But I just stayed with my normal mini program. All right? Yes, because Pastor, he lost it, he lost it.
Yeah, Pastor very, very
go ahead.
No, Pastor is just very passionate. I believe even if you're saying the simple of statements, it's gonna sound, that's just his way. That's just his way.
All right, so we have our next. Okay,
you know what I grew up knowing what a Jamaican is defined by is that we go all in with what we are doing. It is what marks us different than anybody else. Jamaicans do not hedge bets on anything. We gamble. It's win or go home. That's how we live. The tragedy of that is, like all other people, we think we're going to win all the time. So there is no compensation for when we lose. When I tell people I did not start following local football until 1990, it didn't matter to me. And the first years of me following local football, when they go international, was a disappointment with Carl Brown. Because as we contemplate now the impact of xenophobia on the Jamaican football product, I watch Carl Brown lead Jamaica football team, the national team, with 9 Boys Town players in the squad, and at most times 7 in the starting lineup. Are you hearing me, JD? Okay. And that is the same thing that we have now happening as an international product. For me, we are our own worst enemies most times. And it translates bigger than anything else in the football product. It sickens me every time, and sometimes, yes, it throws me, especially when, JD, I don't believe you should mess up technologically because that is your place. You'll make mistakes, but you are supposed to put things in place and work produce something worthwhile. I expect that of you. If I see you tripping over, I get disappointed in you. And I'm saying, especially since 2014, I am sick of the Jamaica Football Federation administration. Despite the qualified, pretentious, so-called erudite people that are there. Because I'm judging you by your actions, not by the letters or certifications attained. Business is a production line. So it's the quality of the product that comes off the line that is the measure of the producers, not your title. I am literally imploring Speed to make a better himself. And I'm using him as an example because there are several others there that are doing worse than Speed. But because we have had conversation, I'm using him. So I hope he understands that that's why I use his name, because we have had conversation. Be a better, sell a better image of yourself. You cannot continue to be a part of something that I feel, just a feel. And your excuse, Mr. Speed, has merit, but not with me. You are in charge of one department, but you are a player in the organization. They might make you look bad.
All right. So we have thank you, Windbreak. Says, yo, JD, keep teach the Jamaican about professional football. Respect, massive respect as well. Thanks very much. Chris Smith says, JD, you remember Leader always talking about the under-20 with mostly Cavalier players, and Maggie, Topi, and Brown, Jerome Waite was the coach. So I guess Speed thinks Waite is the because of the draw 2-2. Okay, so you're saying because of previous results, hence why they believe that the same thing could happen. Maybe they do think so, maybe not. Well, let's see. We have a next thing that we wanted to talk on, all right, which is the Reggae Boyz. We had an article here written as it relates to the look of the main team, all right, because we have to ask what John Wall will actually do making a step up. Yes, like just fully focusing on this region. All right, we're going to put that on the screen and we're going to discuss that. And then that should be the end for this show. All right, so this is what we have right here. They stated, let me minimize it so we can get a little bit more words. All right here. So they stated, Reggae Boyz striker Shamar Nicholson believes the current national senior men's team has the potential to surpass historic squad that qualified for the World Cup in France 1998. World Cup in France in 1998. So just that alone, guys. What say you? You agree with him? Both of you guys agree with him that this squad has the potential to surpass such squad?
Well, definitely to equal them. I think they have a good chance to make it to where they got to. To surpass them, they would have to get out of the group stage. So maybe that's a little bit far, but I definitely think they have the potential to equal what they achieved, for sure.
Pastor, what say you? What say you, Pastor, on the matter?
When you say this squad, which squad are you talking about?
Whatever squad we can pick, the best, strongest squad. I think he's not talking the current today squad. I'm talking Brockfoot Pinnock, Brockfoot Amari Bell, all of them in the squad. That's what I think he's talking about, right, Jason?
Yes, I would not think he's talking about the current injured label, or the suspended people. I think he's talking about who we have used.
Jason.
But no,
Pastor,
Pastor, I understand why you want the clarity, but come on, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. I, JD, in the absence of our best players, we are not going to equal what the other team achieved. When we put
yeah,
our
but
best players,
Pastor,
hmm?
we ask a question, our best players. That's what the man say. Me no need a more lecture and nothing else. Because we have a whole thing for reading, Pastor. So we can't warp
JD,
under the title.
JD,
Jesus.
it is without clarity, it is a war. With clarity, it's not a war. Our best players, I have a little more faith than Jason. We will achieve more with our best players. But in the present context, I am not assured that we will select our best available players. And that is why I ask which squad.
All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up FM data. Since Pastor attack, Pastor, you're going to pick your best possible squad. Then we'll come back to this argument. All right, I'm going to put up a builder here and you're going to pick your best possible squad because me even know what your best, me even know what you're talking about now, Pastor. So we're gonna put up this and you pick a best possible squad. This is the squad builder, Pastor. Pick a best, strongest squad Jamaica can have at this point. Who you believe? Just give me the best squad. Just give me the best squad, Pastor. So we can done this debate. And then we're gonna ask the people if this 11 with whoever Pastor says on the bench is good enough to go on. Go ahead, Pastor. Go ahead. Just give me the names and I can put them in.
The best squad. Oh, so we're doing the 11 first.
Yes, pastors, give me 11 so we can put it to the people.
All right,
And
Blake
then we
in
can
goal.
work on
Okay, go
Blake
ahead,
in goal.
Blake in goal.
Yes, Andre Blake, Bossy. Yes, go ahead, Bossy.
Lay left back.
So hold on.
Our best possible squad.
Include, so hold on. Pastor.
So Amari Bell dead. Or you think Lay
Amari
better than
Bell
Amari
is
Bell?
injured. Amari Bell is injured, JD.
You see why me have a problem with Pastor? Pastor, now listen, what we are saying, Jason. The man saying best squad could have surpassed the next one.
And
The
I
best
agree.
Amari Bell in it. So pick
Don't
the best
worry
Jamaican
about the injuries,
squad.
Pastor.
Don't worry
Just pick
about
the
injuries.
best 11 possible. Everybody fit.
Okay, so
just pick the 11.
everybody fit
Yes.
the best squad. Oh, good God. I am living large. I am starting with Amari Bell at left back. I am starting with Lemba Kisa at right back. I am starting with Ethan Pinnock in central defense left side. And I'm starting with Dishon Bernard beside him. I am going to the middle of the park, Keroy Anderson. I am going with Casey Palmer. I am going with Bobby Reed because I'm not playing two in the middle. I am going with Leon Bailey on the right side. I am going with Boza at the top with Michael Antonio behind him. And I'm going with Demaric Gray on the left. That's 11?
So 12 players are going to play?
Oh, that's the, hold on. If it is 12 players, remove Boza, and I'll take Boza off the bench.
So basically, Bailey right wing, Antonio through the middle, and Gray left.
Yes.
4-3-3. Okay.
That's my 11. Now,
all right, give me a bench then.
Let me start with my goalkeepers because this will take me to 23. I am going with Waite and we young goalkeeper.
Boys
Clark, yeah. So that completes there. I have as support staff at centre back in Damian Lowe and Hector.
I have cover for right back, left back, as in Lay, Latibodier, and Wes Harding. For my midfielders, I have Hutchinson. I have Cover. I have Johnson. Who am I missing? I think I'm missing one midfielder, but let me go up the line. I have I did say Hutchinson already. JD, tell me I'm at about 17.
You have 17.
I think I should have about that already.
All right. So if you have 17, now we
I
focus
think
on this
you're all the way
midfield.
at about 20 in a bus.
If he
Okay,
says
so
17,
no, I
yeah.
think I should be more than 17, but maybe 20 is right. Is more
All
closer.
right, Pastor. So we can just get it. We can just get it. You make a point. So this is your starting 11. So you think that this starting 11 should be good enough to qualify for the World Cup? And
Yes.
and is this starting 11 better than the 1998?
Yes.
Let me know, guys, if you agree that this starting 11 is better than the 1998 one. Jason, what do you say as well?
Oh boy. I think this starting 11, while it has more players plying their trade overseas than the 98 team, yeah, I would say on paper it is a better team. Yes, I would agree with that statement.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. So if it's better, Pastor, if it's better, let me just go back to the title, because sometimes it's good to explain things right in front of Pastor's face. Then we get the answer. So, Pastor, you see, you answer the question. You answer the question what the guy just started with, you know. You see, Jason, he answered the question without any war. You know.
I answered it
Sure.
without any war. That's why I asked the question that I asked.
Jesus,
I am not a
you
war
know
boy.
what? All right, Pastor. All right. So let me continue. So they said, despite high expectations, since 1998, Jamaica have failed to qualify for football's greatest showpiece in over 25 years. However, there is a strong belief that the 2026 World Cup presents Jamaica with its best opportunity yet with the current group of players. All right. Their chances are also boosted by Concacaf giants USA, Mexico, and Canada not participating in the qualifier due to their host status. Nicholson, who currently plays for Clermont Foot in France top division, is confident the current team's abilities, but wants more as they chased history. Everyone talks about the 1998 team as the best since they qualified for the World Cup in France, the highest level in the world. It remains the best generation, but some observers say that we perhaps have more talent, but it's not talent that takes you far. It's mentality, character, he said in an interview with League One, a journalist. All right. Yeah. Whatever that name is. Yes. That journalist right here, people.
Arnaud
Right here. All right. I've not said any word. I've not said anything. I'm not going to butcher the man's name. Yes. Jason acting like he knows word. He said it. All right. He said it one time. It's not like Ankara Gucci. The last time he said.
Which club play?
All right, so let me give Jason gets back his stripe. He made one, yes. Yes, so him saying they beat Canada, and we achieved some results, but no one took us seriously. So Jason,
is that is directed at the Canada team, I would think.
Yes, yes, I think so. But
Yeah.
we here looking at the game, and we had said that we thought that they were showboating and they pretty much stopped playing, in a sense, and let's trying to go through the pattern of the plays, and Jamaica turned it up and they couldn't really get back into the gear. But people said we are idiots and we're not giving them credit. So Shamar Nicholson telling you what he believes, that they don't take us seriously. So are we getting vindicated, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I've said many times that people sometimes don't differentiate the message from the messenger them, you know. So we should have called Shamar on the program and had him say what we were saying, and maybe they would accept it. Maybe. Cause maybe if you come,
Jason, I totally disagree with you because of one word you use. You see, the maybe makes your statement flawed. If
All right.
Shamar had said it, we wouldn't have the discussion.
No,
Because
but
even
the
if they don't
problem is
like
the
him,
pastor. The reason is we assess our football and we need to prove that we're credible. So when guys come in to say the same thing after we had said it, it shows that we know what we're talking about when it comes on to football. And this
but
is
with
not a
that don't make them
question.
accept what you say, JD, and that is the trouble with our society.
No, so then when I'm reading it out again months later, and he's saying the same thing as me, I can remind him that this is what you guys said. We never knew what we were talking about, or we bad mind Jamaica. So sometimes being critical in our analysis and leave the sensationalism, you see how life you can be more correct, way more. Like every single time we broke down what happened in a game, the coach come and say the same damn thing, or the players them come and say the same damn thing. So sometimes if we leave the sensationalism, maybe we can reach a little bit further,
I
even
have
if it's
one question
one
for you.
step.
I have one question for you. Here's the question. How many times has that happened where what we have discussed and analyzed on the program has been proven to be so? How many times?
Almost every time.
Ah,
But I understand
but
what you're
tomorrow,
saying. The
JD,
people.
the subject for tomorrow, JD, the subject for tomorrow, you know, set it up yet, but the subject for tomorrow, when we critically analyze and break it down, they are not in agreement with it until the coach or the players come out and say it.
All right, get you. All right, so Jason, based on that, he said maybe he's pretty much saying that because people never really showed us respect, and so I won the game, which I think was highly down to that as well. Because if you look at it, when Canada reached their peak, our peak was not high as theirs. We can honestly say that. If we had watched that game every single time Canada hit their peak in Jamaica or outside Jamaica, so it never really mattered where. And that's why I thought that Canada was the better team, peak for peak. Because once Canada had the peak, they had the ball, they were creating without problems through our lines. You get me? When we had our peak was back to front from Ethan Pinnock to Leon Bailey, or Mikel Antonio dropping deep to Leon Bailey over the top. So it was always not a transitional ball
All right.
play, it was a long play rather than ball play. So that in itself tells me that we are not the team that Canada is. I think Canada is a far better team than Jamaica. Not close, a far better team, because you have to have more than one way to play. You can't just go long football with a quality team and say that it's a good football. You have to have mix it up, so you have transitional play. We don't have that transitional strength as yet. Obviously, our midfield is not strong, but I do believe the system that we play as well kind of hinders from having more transitional play, because in midfield we have 2 against 3. So majority of the time, not majority of the time, we lost it against Grenada in the midfield. We lost it against Canada, Mexico, which we expect to lose it. And 80 got dropped. The only time we won it against 80 is in Jamaica, when they dropped out and decide that they're gonna play, give you the ball and then go long. That's the only time we get it, when someone give it to us. So that tells me that our system is just not geared to dominate games, as in like the ball itself. We are geared to get 50 chances and try to score the 50 chances. But if you don't control the game, a team is always in the game. So I can tell you, under this coach, he might get some results, but I strongly believe that teams will always be in the game. Always. I'm very sorry to burst your bubble, but I have not seen a game where look, Trinidad was out of the game. Don't Trinidad was out of the game based on the score line, right?
Yeah.
Jason, as soon as Trinidad decide that they're going to stop give Jamaica the ball and come out and meet you halfway the pitch, Trinidad start look the better team on the field. Any team that comes out and meet us in the middle of the park, or long playing football, and if they have a strong centre backs to just win the header and make sure they can close out Mikel Antonio Mexico, close out us, we had no other answer, none whatsoever. So any other competition I'm going to watch Jamaica in, I am watching to see what we can do aside from just wing transition, just keep the ball up the field and try and link it up to the striker and then feed up Liam Bailey. I want to see more. I desperately want more. When Low come up, he won the ball high up the pitch, and they make a pass. It was not no transition. It was him winning the ball right 5 yards or further left on Ustakio. That's where he won the ball, and they made one pass. So they never made no transition. The next team had their ball. So that's what I'm looking for in Jamaica team. And that's the next level for Jamaica to reach at the top level as a football team in our region. But until then, I can't put them against over Panama. I can't put them over Canada, and I can't put them against the United States and Mexico because that's what everybody else have.
So, JD, are we barking up the wrong tree when we are saying, boy, we just need to find the right midfielders? Is it that any midfielder we go for will just struggle in this system?
Yes, I think so. You know why I'm gonna say that you will have midfielders that play good in our system and gain results, but a very few midfielders you can have playing a 2 and control games. Please name a midfielder in a 2 right across the world that control a game, Jason.
Isaac Hayden cannot.
All right,
and that's my answer.
Can anyone? We know
I said can, Pastor. I don't know why.
No, I know, JD. I know exactly what you said. But our biggest midfield prospect to protect the back four is Isaac Hayden. He cannot. So I want Jason name one we can do it.
No, I never asked Jason that. I just asked Jason because through me and Jason watch Nigeria when Nigeria have way higher caliber of footballers, and I think they were trying the 4-4-2 system because the lack of midfielders or deeper line midfielders to play his system.
And
so he went for a 2.
And the abundance of strikers.
Strikers start wing forward. So I think Jamaica can just look at Nigeria system because it's the same thing they're trying. But Nigeria players are a million times better than Jamaica players. Everybody better than everybody. Period. They just have some of the best players and they can't pull it off. They make average teams stay in games. The same thing for Jamaica. Every game Nigeria plays, it doesn't matter if they're playing Botswana, we never play football for them ban. Nigeria just end up in a if Osimhen score 15 goals, because the only time I see them blow teams, is when they kick 50 long balls and Osimhen just bucking 60 balls, Because I saw him did that to Sierra Leone, I'm watching him playing Sierra Leone, and every ball the man touched ended up in the back of the net. And that's the only game Nigeria dominated in the last around 10 games. In the last 10 games. So it tells you that you're literally close yourself down when you're playing a 2 against a 3. It makes no sense because you're just telling a man, okay, put 2 up against 3 and I'm so good, I am going to pass 3 or 3. It's not going to work. It's just reality. You're going to lose those battles and they're going to have a lot of counters on you. And that in itself opens up the centre backs them for red cards, your full backs them up for red cards, because football is teams are not so far off each other. It's not so miles anymore.
I think the 4-4-2 is not really the biggest. I mean, it is a deterrent to controlling, but I think if you look at coaches in the world now that employ the 4-4-2, they almost do so in a way where they know they have to shift it a certain way in possession to gain control of the game. So a perfect example is Unai Emery.
Canada.
Manila.
Okay.
Or even Canada as well. So
when each one of them come in midfield to make up the 3.
correct. So one of the wide midfielders has a job when they're in possession to make it a 3. If they're attacking on the opposite side, the opposite winger tucks in to make it a 3. The times when I've seen Jamaica get a little more control in games is when we can defend in a 4-4-2. I have no problem with that. You have your 2 banks of 4 and your 2 strikers. But where I think we need to tweak it is when we're in possession, one of those strikers would have to drop to make it a 3, especially knowing that our 2 wide midfielders are really wing forwards. So it in essence, when you look at us in possession, it looked more like a 4-2-4. When I think all we would need to do is have one of the strikers be more of a central forward / attacking midfielder type of player, so that when we're in possession, he can drop in and we can keep our wide midfielders / wide forwards wide, which is what the coach looks like he wants to do anyway. But I think without that tweak of one of those players dropping into the 3, it's going to always be a problem.
And look at that. Who are you asking to drop in the 3? Leon Bailey and Damara Gray to make up the 3.
And that's why
none of those are.
And that's why we have always argued, JD, that we might have 4 frontline players that we love, but to get the right balance, we'll have to play 3 of the 4, so that one of those players that are wide have to know that they have a double job. Yes, we want you to keep the width at times, but mainly we want you to be able to tuck in. That's why I feel like Bobby Reid makes the most sense in one of those roles, because he's the most comfortable doing it.
And Leon Bailey just can't. He's going to play central forward, but he just can't play there. We have come to that now. So to be honest, it looks like it's always going to be Leon Bailey getting sacrificed in a system at this point, and him and Damara Gray share games.
Yeah, the only way I see it working is if you play the 4-4-2 and Bailey is one of the strikers. When we're defending, he can be there. That's fine. He can block a space right there. But when we have the ball, I want him to go wide, become a winger, and switch to a 4-3-3 in possession. That's the only way I see the balance being better, and in order to combat the midfields that have 3, 4, 5 in it when them drop for them thing, right? So
yeah. But I agree with Pagan. And Pagan said, bro, we cannot just change for one player. I think that is the problem. We always try to fit in all 4 players, and it's really costing the team. I strongly believe that you drop a midfielder in, Bobby Reid go and do his defensive shift from wide forward, and then you switch between Leon Bailey and Damara Gray with a Mikel Antonio. The team would be way more balanced, because now we would have help for the back line, which is on the right hand side. We would have help for the left hand side as well. You understand me? Yeah, Leicester City plays 4-4-2. How successful are they? D. Smith. And they play the 4-4-2. I know they play the 4-4-2. And remember, we are talking about the same persons for the two. You realize it's the same person I'm talking, playing in the 2 same systems. All right? Yes. So let me run through it, because we said.
But JD,
yes, JD,
a moment before you go.
Oh, Pastor, hold on. This brother named Travdan, because he came in some bad man butler. Here, yes, JD, just leave out Bailey. Okay, well, me not care, Travdan. I don't care. I am just analyzing football. Me no love man. All right? Me just want to make that clear. Me no love man, brother. It's all about football. I mean, I care who no one say come on for the field. It no matter. If it's up to him or Damara Gray, who you gonna pick then? Left out Damara Gray. Him score 50 million goal. Bailey score none. So who am I say then? You see on the context no work, and that's my problem. We no listen, man. If it me say every word the last stream and the man just come and say my bad mind butler. Brother, I want to stop it, man. We reason with logics, man. We are trying to figure out for win. We no love man.
But JD, to make it worse, Jamaica plays a 4-4-2, not using the diamond in the 4. There's no way a Jamaica team can be set up with the type of players that we have. 4-4-2 could work, but only if they played it in a diamond.
But Pastor, you cannot play it when you don't have the players. What diamond we're going to play? We just want the 3. We know what you Pastor. That's why I try to change it to a 4-3-3 instead of you have to talk about which shifting umbrella. So you just make two wingers play with Bobby Reid to make up the numbers as a winger, and they get a midfielder in the damn field.
in the
And
middle
If
of
you
the
want
park.
to use
I
they,
agree. I agree.
furthermore to that, the Canada second half, people realized that we had three in the midfield.
Yes, we have three in midfield, and that's why they didn't know where Damian Lowe playing. That's why they never even knew where Damian Lowe playing, and it was not defensive central.
No, it was
They
not.
never even noticed that.
Damian Lowe was a floating midfielder. He was everywhere. Anyone see one space or anyone
But
chase the ball.
that's what they didn't know. But the problem is they don't know what's going on the field. And then when somebody's sensible on the field, we tell them we're up on the field, it seems like because me not sound flashy, I may tell you say everybody where they get a ground goddamn. They on the field, me not make no sense. When me know what I'm saying, makes perfect sense to anybody who have sense of football knowledge. But I'm telling you, man, my God, man, the man just sit down for war one thing. If me just say one of them player here. Okay, when Aston Villa take him off of the field, when them under any pressure, any game with them under pressure, Liam Bailey come off of the field, once ever go into defensive set. Why Travdan don't go there and tell him, so why you take off Liam Bailey when him are the only outlet? Because he can't defend. And it's very clear. Now care what you're gonna make up, you're gonna teach him for the defend if you want him defend, because nobody no believe that. Nobody will watch football no believe that. So clearly nobody now gonna risk it because him no work more than Aston Villa going in the Champions League. So if him can do something early, then make him do something early, and then them make the change, make it more stabilized for them can see out games. So if you want upset, you upset done. I'm tired of one man. Good Lord, man. We not have no people and we just telling a bag of foolishness every day, man. I want to say, yeah, real talk. No, can't just go on to them, man. Me all right, man. More have sense in them, man. So, anyways, these are the players that we have. We have Ozoho in goal. Ajo. I think he really lost his place. He has no game to get anymore. All right, and then we have. Where's it, Jason?
No, this is Nigeria squad.
Yes, Mr. Run through the squad where almost said average.
Okay,
but if they are average, they're like 50 million times better than our team. So I'm just saying we can't say a team that is way higher rate is average. It's not average. It's what they're doing. If you get a better system, they are going to look better. And that was the conversation we were actually having. You know, we were trying to prove a point that we have other persons trying it and it's not working for them. So why is it Jamaica at a lower level with lower level players trying the same thing and expect a better result? You have to find ways to stifle opponents rather than trying to keep them in games because you're playing as open as possible and trying to get them gun-ho. Go up the pitch, down the pitch, up the pitch, down the pitch, up the pitch. That is like open up chances for people. All right, they're average JD. As a team playing, they're average no matter what. No man, I think they look better in the 3 at the back system, but they can play better with a better system. I'm telling you, if good coaches get them, they are, you know what, let me leave them alone. I think they're going to fire the coach. So the next Nigeria game against Morocco, let me check that one. Let me check those ones. We have Morocco and Ghana next. So I'm going to be covering that. So we will look at it. And that's why I watch football, people, because I want to keep on educating ourselves. I don't just clog up in the Jamaican space. And as soon as a video comes out, I'm just running out like a madman to make up fantasies. I watch football every day when I do have the time, and I study football. So I'm not going to sell Travdan madness. You're going to feel upset in your house because I don't care about all of them. All right? Me care about just making my point. I don't care who for feelings hurt. All right? Yeah, man. If the man a big baller, I will come and say the man a big baller. Good Lord, man. So you can know in the gist of the man have a camp, you know.
Are you fighting with them, JD? Are you worried?
The man have a camp, you know. Because the man a cuss me about say the reason why I not like John Wall, you know, because I not like this about line, you know. So the man already make up him story, you know. The man defensive game have improved 100%. This a lie, you know. This a lie. Since under Unai Emery, in the last game, check the stats, bro. You just not talk fear. Been a notice. Me no rather Butler. Me just want a good Jamaica, all right? You say me not talk fear. So, Jason, you think Leon Bailey's defense have improved 100% since Unai Emery comes around? That's what I'm saying.
If it improve 100%, that would mean that there's no more room for defensive improvement. So, based on that, I think the percentage is too high, because he can still improve in that regard. And anybody who said that's not true is just not being truthful with themselves.
All right, Mr. Chavdan. I'm biased. I don't like the man, but I know you're lying. But I will just take your word for it. That's why I just like the comment you put in. I'm not even arguing it anymore, because I realize that's why my shows go down the wrong direction. Peer fight and thumping, and it shows them. So, but done with it. People, make sure to hit the like button. We're on 80 likes on the video. You guys asked for the night video. Well, I don't see you now. All right. Yes. Open still alive. All right. Yes. With Gray and Bailey more suited offensively, a full of goals, then the midfield needs to be dedicated rather than a striker dropping in. 2 pivots and a playmaker or Bobby Reed. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
JD, stop arguing with the man.
Yeah, I think Bobby or Casey, but people putting Casey in the pivot, so it's like we can't put him 2 places. But yeah, I think I agree there, Leroy. They should try to make the support striker or the second striker in the system someone that is versatile enough to be an actual midfielder. I agree with that take, Leroy Smart.
But Leroy, that's very smart. Leroy, listen to me. I am not even doing what you guys doing. One of them are come off of the field. You understand me? It's very simple. Bobby Reed does all of the next wing because he offers way more of a balance to the team. So we are playing with 2 forwards, pretty much Mikel Antonio and Damari Gray, or Mikel Antonio and Leon Bailey. All right, one of the two we're going to be using, and the Bobby Reed will be as like a forward defender as well, to keep the press up there and do all the fundamentals, and our midfield stays solid to battle and win back balls. With why are we so why we could have actually remembered that Damian Lowe won a ball in midfield. You know why, Jason? Because we don't normally win balls in midfield. Jason, we don't normally win the ball in midfield. No, we don't cost Lati body here every day. We don't tired because Lati body here for every day. We don't tired because Daniel Johnson and Ravel Morrison, we have 1 ball, the 2 of them win in a 1 whole game. We don't remember that Mexico game there, when the ball run past the line of the Mexico team. We don't forget. We don't forget. Me, I watch all the games and all the moments. Me not just caught up in sensationalism. I am watching the games.
I think the fans can actually break down what for cost the players, and because if a man a cost Latibo there saying win ball, then them just lie. I cost him for his offensive output and how him operate when him get the football. But I think he does what he needs to do in a defensive sense. Personally, I don't know if people agree with me or disagree, but I don't think him forget beaten for him the defensively.
No, him not forget beaten because he might try defensively. The problem is him can't initiate the offense because him already outnumbered. When him win it back, them will win it back from him instant, and then now 2 of them are gangling on him, and him can't stop the 2 of them, so them just pass him and open the floodgate, and that's what happened. So now that much I tell you. But if you had 3 in midfield, Trogdan, what we are saying when we say Barbary go over the right hand side, it is because he's like an additional midfielder on the field, but he has the skill set to do the fundamentals to link up the 2 forwards. So we only can play with 2 forwards, but we only can use one of them as a wing forward because he doesn't have the ability to play 2 strike up front. You understand me? Yes, so he has to come from over the left-hand side, which is Damari Gray. And I would pick him over Leon Bailey at this point because he's having a good time. You get me? He's having a good time, so I would pick him and just use Bobby Reed to press, win the ball back and whip it over, or link up the play, retention back in midfield, and then rotate the thing. But we want to win more balls. We can't just forward, then them come through our midfield. Remember, guys, go back to Grenada game. I can tell you, if you watch Grenada game, I think you guys stop out here hyping up yourself about Jamaica team. JD, you and Leon Bailey are blind man. and a deaf man can I hear? Okay, you Leon Bailey a blind man. Okay, I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm trying to stop this rot of better teams just walking through the middle of us. JD, stick with low pressure in the midfield. Only tell not to kick down nobody. I would have agreed with you on the pressuring players, but tell him not to kick down nobody. It's like tell him not to learn football or not to play football, because that man have been kicking down people. From kicking down people exists. So people, all we're worried about is just tell you what? This video have reached its end. Jason, give a final point. JD and Jason, which players do we have that can hold the ball under pressure or turn to give a teammate a chance to push up? I think only 2 players I think can do that in our team. I would say KC Palmer. KC Palmer. We have a few players can do it. KC Palmer can do it. I think Leon Bailey can do it as well. Leon Bailey, Damara Gray should be able to do it. Like the quick turn and find a pass. Yes, both of them should be able to do it because they are top level wingers. Yes, our three players across. KC Palmer attacking midfield, left and right winger should be able to do it. Yes, those are the 3 players. And DJ can do it as well. So 4 players if DJ is here. But Travdan, DJ not playing any football for the longest time, Travdan, you know? So I don't even know what DJ is going to be giving us, to be honest. Yes, but those are the 3 to 4 players I'm expecting to give us that.
Yeah, so the only ones I see, JD, I got cut off. But yeah, Palmer, Daniel Johnson, maybe not from deep, but he has the skill set, could do it. Hutchinson.
Hutchinson. Oh, we never had Hutchinson in our team. Okay. Hutchinson. Hutchinson more than Leon Bailey and Damara Gray because he can play as a cam. So right. He has that little quick turn, explosive style with control. I don't think Leon Bailey and Damara Gray has it as him, you know. I think that's his actual skill set. So I would say less of Leon Bailey and Damara Gray, Hutchinson, Palmer, and DJ. Those are the 3 players.
Yeah, I think the big issue, Omzo, that you maybe you're asking this question about, which I agree with, is, you know, do we have any players that are actual deeper line players that have that skill set? And I think that's what we are struggling to find, because, you know, you have your Lamberts of the world, your Latibodairs of the world, your Russells of the world. Maybe that's not their best skill, but they maybe are the most equipped to play a deeper line role. So, you know, the trick is going to be to find players that can do both things. And we're not compromised defensively because we're playing a more technical player like we were in Mexico when we had DJ and Ravel. You know, we need to find a balanced player that can do both of those things and not be compromised either way.
And you think Anderson can pull it off? I don't think he has the skill set.
Anderson, based on what I've seen, I don't think he's so comfortable receiving from his defense. I think he likes to receive from another midfielder and push the play forward. I need to see more of him getting it from deep, because remember, in his system, you know, their midfield is loaded up. Kind of play 3-5-2, so that means him always have 2 people with him to kind of play off. So it might cramp him a little more in the 2 system that Jamaica use. So I would need to see more, but I would put him on the list of potentially could, but I don't think him reach the level of some of the others I said so far yet in that skill set, in that particular skill set.
Okay. Shavdan said, and that's our problem from ever since. So that's the player that you think is causing the problem. Exactly, that's a big problem, isn't it? Only our attacking players can do with that. Yeah, that is true. So you see, it only. I don't know. So why when I'm talking football, you guys acting like, you know? But it's all right. Grant gave us the best of that, and people now want to talk about it. I think Grant Kira is better than Grant, you know, in what he brings to the team, you know. I think I would maybe Grant shielding is a little bit better than Kira.
I think
and his tackling a little bit better.
I think what Grant had over everyone that I have seen in that role is he understood when he was in trouble how to draw a foul. I think he did
He's that
that
100 years old, you know. He was here around from Jesus Christ. So
right,
if you have no
and I think
experience, I don't know what to help you with.
people tend to forget that when he was playing, you could pretty much draw like a 30-yard circle on the field, and he was in that
That he
circle.
doesn't move out of.
Yes. So, some will say that's good
And
because you need your CDM to stay there. But, I think sometimes the game might require more than that. So, he had his shortcomings, people. Let's not act like he was the perfect player.
yes, but Jesse, I forgot that him and Aka was like literally a old age home. So if they don't have those skill sets, they don't acquire those skill sets over time. With against an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, I think something would have been terribly wrong with them. So I gave him that credit, but I think Kira Anderson has the potential to be better than both of them.
JD, I'm going to speak from the perspective of having played the position. And I'm going to say no, that while
Jesus. So
Kira Anderson is not matured, yes, I know why you're trying to pause me because I impute myself. So, JD,
So,
just
Pastor,
listen.
you
Don't
play
listen to that
defense,
part.
you play defensive central, you play goalkeeper, you play
Yes.
forward, you play winger.
No, no, no,
So,
no, 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 no,
Pastor,
no, no,
you
no,
not
no,
just
no.
play
That's a
football?
lie. I played both wing backs. I played defensive central, yes. I played centre back, both left and right. And yes, me play goalkeeper.
So,
I
Pastor, if
have
you
never
ever,
played midfield beyond the CDM, and I have never played winger nor striker.
so
No,
Pastor,
that is a lie.
are you saying that when we are discussing other positions on the field, you will not say a word? Is that what you're saying?
No, I cannot speak about those positions from an experiential perspective.
All right.
Having played CDM and knowing what the position requires, I believe the only department Keroy Anderson is beneath Lambert and Grant is experience. He has tactical awareness. What he has over them is speed. He has the same level passing ability, if not higher passing ability. And Keroy Anderson is as brave as Grant is in taking a tackle. It makes him, in my book, a better CDM than both of them. And that is why in my 11 JD, I put him there. He lacks the experience to command the position. But every minute on that field is going to make him better, especially when the opposition offensive is better than our midfield. He is going to grow minute by minute. I am not scared to put him there because of where I think he is in his mental acumen. He reads the game and where a player, Mr. Keroy Anderson, chase down one tackle. And because Lambakisa never realized that he covered the ground, I'll Lambakisa get tackled because he's unwilling to see his defense line come under any kind of pressure. That is a CDM. And Jamaica don't have no better CDM available right now because we don't get Isaac Hayden. And I don't think Isaac Hayden, as good as he is now, is as high as the ceiling for Keroy Anderson. He's going to be better than Hayden. Mark my words.
All right, thank you very much, Pastor. Oparoni said, but everyone and their mother is telling us on YouTube that we have great players in the JPL. So how comes one can't put up their hands to represent us against a regular Concacaf teams? Over the time, we have proven ourselves that we're slightly behind as it relates to the development due to the fact that we have played in several competitions and we have played an array of actual teams. So a range of actual teams, I should say. So the lower tier to the higher tier, and we have won none. So every time we come up in those big games, we have won none. All right, we play Pacific, we don't win it. We play Robin Hood, we lose that one in the finals again from and went again, and then we played. I think 80 Violet AC was the best out of all of them. So no, I think Pacific FC is not worse than Violet. Pacific FC had quality players on it. So I want to say Pacific FC was not around so much like Violet, but both of them have good quality players, and Pacific FC was slightly better. Hence why the result was more devastating. Yeah, so it's true that we don't have that level of players. To be honest, up and running, we just don't have that level of players. We can sell story. We sell story well, up and running. But the reality out there on the pitch, we have nothing to show in that department. Yes. All right. So Jason, give you a final point, and Pastor give you a final point, and then we run out of the building so we can have some free time because I'm tired and Arsenal playing and Champions League going on. I'm not doing any upper nothing. I'm gonna sit here and collect information and watch football. All right, yes. I can't just watch football, I want to watch some football. I want to relax myself. Tomorrow I can have more information on the Jamaican players them for you. You see? So you guys don't watch the game, so I have to watch the game to see what's going on. All right. Yes. So Jason, give you a final point. BM, big up yourself. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, so people big up for the view and everything, like the video, like the stream. But just in my final point, I will just say, obviously big happenings today with the under-20 team. I think that John Wall's recall to the senior team was probably something that needed to happen, just based on the time frames. When you look at when all these competitions are going to be happening, I don't see how he'd be able to focus on one and not lose focus on the other. So I think it was a good move as far as removing him from that post. It remains to be seen whether the appointment of Waite is the right call or not. I think that will play out in the coming months, and I'll definitely be at any opportunity I can trying to ask some questions of those that can answer. What was the thinking behind his appointment, and going forward, what will his role be at Tivoli in regards to his role with the U20, because the reasons given for the removal of the old coach was too many hats, and this man still have on some hats as well. So I just want to get some clarity on that. But other than that, I think the way it was reported and the way it was brought out, I thought made sense, because he didn't want the public to be thinking that he was fired for performance, because I don't know how the technical committee could justify that, because we have had other coaches lose their posts after winning and we are beating them for the same thing. So, I think it was smart of them to put the words that they used in there, because it could not be related to the football alone. Even though our critical eyes did see problems, it's hard to go against the results, and it would be a harder sell to the public, I think. So, all that being said, we just have to continue to watch what's going to happen next. I do think that a lot is still up in the air, because, as I said, Jerome Waite cannot focus him entirely on this team, and I want to know, if he's not going to be doing so, how will the continuity take place? Is there someone else that can kind of keep the kids training or going forward? And also, how much of John Wall's research that he had done from before will be implemented into his selection moving forward? So those are some questions I still have. But again, at least we have the closure that it is a fact. He's no longer the coach, and we can move forward and try to ask the right questions now.
Thank you very much. Head Pastor, you have given a point, or you want to give a next point? Because I'm done.
Well, in closing, I just want to say to Jason, the JFF has done the exact thing before, where they fire somebody based on lack of performance, but retain them at a higher level in the same position as assistant coach of the senior male team. It has happened before. So I am not going to read into anything, Jason. Beyond that, I believe this is the first document I've seen produced by them that I believe is constitutionally and morally pointed. I am happy that it was so worded, and while I have beaten them on several topics since the stream started, I am closing with giving the JFF credit. The document covered the pointers that were needed to be dealt with, and to not cast myself legally liable, I am sticking with what they have produced, and I'm saying congratulations to the JFF. You got it right.
Somebody clip that and send it
I
to
have
Travis.
said my say.
Please, somebody clip that.
Kamar, I don't know who write it. Don't give Simon any credit for things that was not written at the bottom. Say Simon, Mark, write it. You know, yes. So don't give nobody no credit. All right, we don't know who write it. I want to say more Mr. Speed write it as well. So that didn't even know.
Notice I said the JFF. So anybody, if they want the janitor to write it, the JFF gets the credit. It came from them. I am happy. I am happy. There is something I can credit the JFF for. JD, please allow them to get their flowers. JD, allow them to get their flowers.
No, Pastor. Them desperate to give the YouTuber them the credit. And when time the problem go on, them try to exclude the YouTuber them out of it. And it not go work. If you name the planet, you not get the credit. Me, I tell you that.
That's why I said the JFF. I don't care if it's the janitor at the JFF write it. I don't care who write it.
I know Simon write it because me
the JFF gets the credit. And for the longest while, I have been searching for something to say. 2 thumbs up for JFF. You get it right. I have gotten the opportunity. So JD, I am closing with that. Congratulations and thank you, JFF.
Yes, so people, bye-bye and see you in the next one. As I've said, I don't give credit out so easily. You have to work for it. Bye-bye.